Welcome to the Soundscape. We have a little musical intro and everything. We're so professional.
Yeah, okay.
See, I'm going to have to
Professional.
I'm going to have to put this aside because if I hold this the entire time...
You're going to be playing it
I'm going to be playing it the entire time, which is going to destroy the sound quality.
It's fine.
Except that I feel like there are probably cool acoustics in here. Katie, why don't you tell everybody where we're at?
We are in my favorite place on campus, Strickler Planetarium.
Wait, I need a Strickler theme.
Oh, God. And then I'll take this bit of the recording and tell it to Dr. Case. And we'll feature it on our own website, our own Facebook.
It needs to be more mysterious, though.
Star Wars.
I don't play Star Wars.
Lame. Yeah, I work here, so I have a key to let us in. I technically don't know if it's allowed. I can ask my boss about it, but the projectors aren't on, so it's not like we're using the most expensive equipment, but the lights are on. And we're in here, and I guess there is the risk that we actually.
This is good podcast discussion.
Isn't
whether
it?
or not what we're doing is inside of the rules.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you guys are gonna hear about it one way or the other. Okay. I can't write a Strickler theme on the spot, and not on guitar. It needs to be done on something more mysterious,
Sure.
Accordion.
More mysterious, like a bassoon.
No, accordion.
Okay. You just have an accordion laying
I do
around?
have an accordion laying around.
Wow.
I know how to play accordion.
All right. I don't.
All right. So today on season 1, episode 2, I don't know why I specified season because that was one season right there.
It's the only one we have so far.
I might ever have.
We're hopeful.
We're hopeful. We're very hopeful. Some people have actually listened to it.
I know.
Has anybody that you know?
Miri, yeah,
Okay,
Miri,
yeah.
she's let's do it the whole way through. So pay up. You guys owe me something. Pay up.
Okay, I will talk to her via email. We had Neri, Ken Kubala, who used to be a guitar teacher in my parents' music store, commented. He seemed to enjoy it. Who else listened to it? Jesse listened to it all the way through.
Jesse.
Let's just call all of these people out on the next podcast and be like, everybody else who didn't listen to it,
it's a sign.
Suck.
Okay. We don't do that kind of fan service, but it is a sign of appreciation to the people that we know have contacted us. So Thank you.
We're very grateful that anybody listened to it all the way through because we were not expecting that. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Okay, so today, instead of jumping right into the thing, whatever, my mouth just stopped working. Instead of jumping right into writing a theme for a book, we're going to start with exploring some successful books that have become movies.
That are actually good.
That are actually good.
Yeah, because there's a lot of...
Aragon sucked.
Oh my god, we don't...
Inkheart wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
I haven't seen the movie.
I like Brendan Fraser a lot.
He was made for the role.
Have you seen him in Mummy?
Yeah, obviously.
I love Mummy.
Isn't there a Mummy theme? It wasn't a book, though. I'm sure there is a Mummy theme. But
I remember there's a theme for What's Her Face? Evie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Evie has a theme that I really liked, actually, but I don't remember what it was off the top of my head.
Yeah. So anyway, our point is that there have been a lot of books that have been made into movies, and those are obviously stories that people know really well. So we're talking. Yeah, that's what I thought the one Sherlock was. Anyway, so we want to talk about stories that people know, and we're going to make our own soundtrack to it. But we're going to just start today by talking about other popular books that have been made into movies. That is so distracting.
Do you recognize it?
Sherlock, yeah.
Yeah, it's John and Mary's thing. Frick you, honestly. I'm sorry, carry on.
So today we're going to focus on 3 movie franchises.
Yeah, franchises.
That I'm sure everybody is very familiar with. So we got Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, and Lord of the Rings.
Probably should have
my personal favorite.
Organized it so that I played a theme for each one after you said it. But
okay, so let's rewind.
No.
Yeah.
You wanna stop it?
No, it's fine. I'm just...
Now that we've talked this much about it, it's
5 minutes, a whole 5 minutes.
Oh, man.
Whatever. So, I guess the first one, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Which would probably be my personal favorite. Like, I started Harry Potter real young, and I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain to other people who don't understand how good Harry Potter is, how good it is.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners will agree that Harry Potter
you're
is
right.
Very good.
Okay. Well, it's the best, but I think for me as a kid, it was like the amount of the magic in that book. Like, magic is prevalent in Lord of the Rings, but I wouldn't say it's the focus.
Way. No,
yeah, it's a very different thing. In Harry Potter, it's very much like, look, the world is full of magic and it's beautiful and weird and fun and goofy. And J.K. Rowling, fine. Like the way that she writes, which I think is common amongst British authors, I think just are generally funnier than American authors. And so the way that she writes the dry humor, I'm a big fan of. And so that was Harry Potter for me growing up, and I lost my mind when I watched Fantastic Beasts and they played the so close. It was almost perfect. As if I haven't played that 1,000 times.
Come on, man.
Still not. Gosh dang it.
Anyway, I mean that music. It's just it's not just the character theme. It's the whole universe.
So let's talk about the music, because we're going to be looking at 2 themes for each franchise, probably time permitting. I mean, we have 3. Okay, so let's look at that right off the bat. So this is going to get into a little music theory.
Okay.
So everything here is what's called diatonic, which means in the key.
Okay.
So there are no notes that have broken rules yet. So let me try and put it in English.
Teach music theory to you.
I'm going to teach music theory to you and all of our listeners in the next 30 seconds. In poetry, you can sometimes poets will put words in weird spaces. And while that might not necessarily be traditionally how we read or write, it's done to make it interesting, right? Okay. So in the same way, in music theory, there are rules. There are more firm rules than maybe the rules of where words go on the page, but they're rules, and when you break them, you can break them to make things cool. And so here, we haven't broken any rules until we get right here. Sorry. There we go. Now we've broken a rule. So we're in the key of E, which is like this. If I can. So those are all the notes that are in the key of E minor, even though that's a major scale. Those are all the notes. And so then we played a F, which is not in that key, because you have an F sharp in the key of G, and so that's F and F sharp.
Sure.
Which are supposed to be gross, because they're good. And so, we're breaking rules. And so John Williams, I feel, who is the author of 2 out of 3 of our themes, right?
Is he?
Harry Potter. Jurassic Park, yes, it's John Williams. Because John Williams is amazing, and we all love John Williams. So that's our first broken rule. And I'm trying to think of, specifically if you're talking about we could bring it as simple as dissonance, because you have that dissonance of F natural and F sharp, and your ear, even your untrained ear, Catherine, can identify that these 2 notes sound weird together, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's ways to put dissonance in things, that's a nice sounding chord, right? But inside of that chord, we still have which is dissonance. Mm-hmm. It's the same interval as But this one sounds distinctly. Anyways, so there are inside of that theme there is dissonance, but it's done in a way that kind of creates a little like I don't know, like a little. I don't know. I should have been better prepared for how I was going to explain this, but
it's fine. I mean, we weren't very prepared last week.
No, we weren't very prepared.
It's fun to do it off the cuff.
You're right. It is fun to do off the cuff. So there was that one, and then the other one that we kind of wanted to look at, just because I like this theme, is
which is the theme that they're in when they're in the Shrieking Shack.
Right, and it's probably like exclusively in the third movie.
Mostly.
It might make a reprise in part 2 of 7, because don't they go back to the Shrieking Shack?
Yeah. They do.
Anyways, so we were talking about dissonance. That's all dissonance because it's 3 notes that are all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to give you that kind of like
creepy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be unsettling.
You don't really want to be there, yeah.
I was thinking. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, you can't put it into a song. It would be tough to put it into a song. But so there's lots of dissonance in that kind of theme. Not just dissonance, but weird notes in the manner that are supposed to convey kind of an unsettling. And I mean, because this is not creepy.
No.
On its own, it might be. But I think inside of that theme, like, it more so captures, because there's not so much that it's overwhelming, like it's not creepy, because all this is diatonic.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, this is not diatonic.
I get it.
Oh, and there's something else interesting.
What?
So that is called the Devil's Tritone.
Ooh,
not
that
kidding.
Sounds exciting.
In the 10th century, I'm going to get some more music theory. And this one I actually do know about.
Really in for a treat today.
So the church used to write in single note melody lines. There was just one note. It was monophonic. That's probably not the right word. But it makes sense. One, like, polyphonic is multiple sounds. Yeah, monophonic would be one sound. So, or homophonic, all of the same sounds. Either way, it's the same thing. Anyway, so the church used to write in a monophonic setting. And then around the 10th century, they started to introduce the harmony of a fifth. Which works... Am I playing a fifth right now? I am playing a fifth right now. Which works most of the time until sometimes you get this. Or... I gotta play this right. Which is the Devil's Tritone. And so the church heard that and they were like, that's freaking gross. Don't ever play that. And so
they named the Devil's.
Exactly. Well, it's a weird sound. They used to draw that out. Okay, and then so eventually they flatted it, and so it became B flat. And so that's why hymns a lot of times will have like that B flat in there. That's in fact where the flat, because the flat symbol in music is the lowercase b.
Yeah. And
so it's because every time you would see the B, you would just flat it because everything was written in the key of C.
Cool. So Harry Potter.
I mean, Harry Potter's all about, like, it's not creepy. There are creepy moments.
Oh,
like the frickin' spider. Well, like, every single movie ends with something unsettling.
Yes.
And every single book, I guess, we should probably look at, so...
Well, I
obviously love the books, but...
So anything more about the Harry Potter theme?
I don't think so. I just like that one. Mm-hmm. There was a night when I was alone at church and I was like playing and it was like 12 or 1 o'clock and I freaked myself out by playing too many dissonant notes. Like, I just got unsettled. So there's something to the Devil's Tritone thing. Okay. Alright. So Harry Potter, which I think we can agree is a successful franchise.
Oh, it's very successful.
What was the other ones?
Jurassic Park.
Which
Dinosaurs.
is my favorite movie of all time.
Not mine.
I understand that, but it's mine.
Okay.
Okay, so the two themes. The first one is kind of along the same lines of the ones that we were looking at earlier. And so it's that really quiet horn intro. Let me hold this like a classical guitar.
That's not the Jurassic theme. But
That's not the Jurassic theme. Okay, so... Okay, so it's like that really kind of creepy horn intro, which is weird because like a lot of the rest of the theme, like the famous themes in that movie are like really major. Which I just botched, but it's fine.
We got the idea.
But so this one opens in like the really kind of like same thing. You have that same exact dissonance. I mean, obviously, dissonance is very important in in music in general. But I just think that that's interesting that both franchises open with that theme, not that exact same theme, but that exact same idea.
Notes, yeah.
Anyways.
Make your own thing.
Well, right, yeah, probably will. And so, because Jurassic Park has that same, it doesn't have probably the same, like, wonder that Harry Potter has, but it has that same, like, sense of foreboding danger a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the main theme of Jurassic Park, it makes it seem, like, really grand and wondrous.
Right,
and just
because it is,
because,
by and large.
Dinosaurs are walking the earth again.
T-Rex or something. Anyways, yeah. So, and I'm trying to think if there's like a famous Harry Potter theme that I'm like not thinking of that's like really
Is like a Dumbledore's
happy.
Theme?
Well, but they're.
Do the Hogwarts song.
What?
Hogwarts, Hogwarts, Hoggy Woggy Hogwarts.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Something
There's Fox's theme. Dum, 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 dum,
yeah.
dum, dum, dum. So that's pretty major, but that's really mostly in the second movie.
These videos always take too long to actually.
But I bet it would be, it's whatever it is, it's going to open with the...
No, it sounds too dark to open it with those kinds of notes. See, Dumbledore has a theme. Probably not.
Right, but this is not emblematic of Harry Potter, right? Like the one that is that. Okay, I feel like we should minimize. Okay, so we've got Harry Potter, we've got Jurassic Park, both of which open with that.
With the low.
With the not just the low, but like the dissonance.
Yeah, that works.
I'm really enjoying that. Well, and it sounds like it's Jimi Hendrix. It's like Purple Rain, I want to say.
Purple Rain. Okay, first of all, Jimi Hendrix did not do Purple Rain.
Prince did Purple Rain.
Yes.
Gosh dang it. What am I thinking of?
Manic Depression?
No, it's a Jimi Hendrix song, but it opened. All of my Ken is gonna thrash me.
Anyway.
They open with that. Jurassic Park goes to a grander theme. Well, and it's not just this one, but it's bum bum dum dum da da dum ba da da da, which I can't play fast enough. Case in point. Much grander. And not Jurassic Park, Harry Potter is much of the same, I think. It's not coming to mind because the one that's really famous is that one. Why is this one so famous?
That one, I mean, it plays in like the beginning, like the opening scenes of all of the movies, basically. It's a happy song. I think the way even because the early whatever they do it mostly on like the chimes or whatever, so it makes it seem.
I forget what that instrument is, but it's a weird instrument. It's not a normal thing. I don't remember. But anyways, yes, you're right. It's something different.
And it makes it seem a little mysterious or.
It's very airy.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, so we've got Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, and
now my personal favorite.
Katie's personal favorite. So why is Lord of the Rings your personal favorite? And when you say, is it your favorite book, favorite movie, favorite franchise? Be specific.
It's my favorite franchise because my favorite book and movie happen to be the same thing as Gone with the Wind. I love that. Anyway, so Lord of the Rings, I remember watching it growing up, and it's just so expansive. Like Tolkien is a freaking genius. Holy crap. Personally, I haven't read the trilogy, but I have read The Hobbit, so it's fine.
Don't like the trilogy.
It is hard. Like it's hard to read because just the way he
That's
writes
not
it,
enjoyable.
Which is why I want to read it to at least try to get more knowledge or to see how well the movies were faithful to the book, because that's a.
I know right off the bat.
Me.
Even just. Oh no, wait. Who is the forest?
I know it's pretty dang close.
There's
Treebeard?
a guy in the forest.
Treebeard?
No.
Radagast?
No. He's not in the movie. He's in the book.
Oh.
Tom something.
Yeah.
Tom.
Oh my God.
Well, let us know in the comment section. Like and comment and let us know Tom something.
Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know he's
right off
the
the bat. I know he's not in there.
Yeah.
The Hobbit book is great,
Yeah.
and the Hobbit movies are not that great.
I agree, but at the same time, the Hobbit movies has a lot more. I mean, they had to include more stuff to make it.
No, I don't think the Hobbits were bad. I just didn't think they were good.
With the Hobbit, though, they included more backstory and more like nods to the Silmarillion.
You're right.
Than Lord of the Rings did.
I started the Silmarillion, could not finish it. Felt like it was the same story, like in the first 30 pages, over and over and over again, just told with different names.
Probably. That's
anyways, so Lord of the Rings we like because of an expansive storyline.
And yeah, I mean, it's just like it was like part of my childhood.
Sure.
It's gorgeous, and like the movies, like the special effects,
they're really well done.
Amazing. New Zealand, gorgeous. Peter Jackson is a genius.
I thought you were going to say Peter Jackson, gorgeous. I was like, I mean, I can't speak to that personally, but I'm sure.
No.
Okay, so the two kind of themes that we've chosen from that one. The first and one of the more famous ones is the theme of
Hobbiton. And that music, I don't know what it is about that music, but it makes me cry. Like it's like it feels like it's such like a happy, brings like a happy place, like a home, comfortable place, because that's what Hobbiton is portrayed to be.
You're right.
With the hobbits all cheery and friendly. Oh.
I was trying to do that. Because
Oh.
there's like a continuation in there somewhere where it goes to like minor chord. But yeah, I agree. So in contrast to where we have like all of these diatonics, non-diatonic I should say, chromatic, if you want to use the technical term.
Sure.
All of our weirdnesses, this is very... It fits. No rules have been broken. And I don't know if any rules are broken in that song, except maybe when it goes like the faster da-da-dum-dum.
Yeah.
That one maybe, but even then I would be surprised. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Anyways, so it's happy, it's all diatonic, it's not in C, I just always play it in C, which is a happy key.
I wouldn't know the difference.
You would be surprised
okay,
what the human brain picks up on.
But just naming it, no.
No, correct. Anyways, so Hobbit theme, very diatonic, very happy, very major. Doesn't really even move to minor keys, like minor chords. Maybe that A, but you never hear it, or heaven forbid. or even typical modifications of normal chords, like there's no major sevens. It's just all very.
I'm gonna play this music at my wedding.
Oh
I
my
swear.
gosh.
Oh, I love it.
Anyways, so that's the first theme, and then the second theme we chose, which I don't remember if we came up with the actual name.
I mean, it's normally called like Aragorn's theme or Rohan's theme.
Rohan.
I don't know.
Should I play it
Halfway
higher?
through that, I started thinking Gondor, so I'm like,
This
words.
is this low or should I play it higher? Can I play it higher?
I don't know.
G. C. Frick. Should just played it. Okay. Anyway, so this is the Rohan Gondor theme, whatever it is.
Theme of man.
That wasn't terrible.
And if nothing else inspires you to be a leader, then you'll never be inspired because I love this thing.
So let's talk about our theme. So we've got, like, again, we have mostly diatonic. Haven't broken any rules yet. Now we've broken a rule, and so that's an F sharp. And so, okay, so in the key of A, you've got... That's where that chord comes in. It's that F sharp, and it's like a very dust in the wind. I'm trying to think of other Maria. I just met a girl named Maria. For any West Side Story fans. Which there probably are at least one. Is at least one.
Yeah.
So that's in there. And it's just like a very, even though it's not diatonic, it's a typical rule breaking that you would find. And it's...
So even though it breaks the rules, it's a little expected?
Well, so, and there are things that break the... So like this. Let's take you and me, we made a vow. So for better or for worse, that second chord, that's breaking the rules, but it's expected because there are those in kind of like alt rock or indie rock or classic rock or whatever.
Okay.
That kind of stuff exists.
Normal.
It's normal. So like a major third or a major second, which is what that dum dum, that's expected. What other common rule? Dominant 7. That's breaking the rules, but is expected, like in She's got eyes of the bluest skies. If they started red. Oh, it's been a rough day. So like that C chord, that's not in the key of D, but because they do. So anyways, so that's like a typical way that you might break a rule to make a kind of like a really happy sound. Which is what they're doing, like they're making something happier.
Yeah.
I don't know, I get that third note play. There we go. Anyways. So yeah, That's like 3 themes, ways in which they kind of break rules, although the first 2 are a little more like... And then... and then the Lord of the Rings was a little... And there are like Sauron's theme. I'm trying to remember how... Just doing the Shrieking Shack, but in a different note.
Sauron's theme, I don't know. Maybe it's because I can't imagine it trying to be played on guitar. I can't think of it right now. Yeah.
Right. So that's bringing that dissonance into play.
Yeah.
Dissonance into play. And not just dissonance, but like emphasis on that devil's tritone. Trying to remember if that's actually that. There's the devil's tritone. But it is. So here, that's the devil's tritone, but it's bridged by this note. So even though we have, which is weird, we have a. Which is kind of, it's like the Aladdin is how it's been referred to in the Aladdin scale. Okay. Do you feel like you know some more things about music now?
Am I going to remember it? No.
No. You will, though, by process of eventually.
Like little thing. I'll be like, hey, that's that
All right.
D word.
Devil's tritone.
Dissonance.
Dissonance you should know, though, because dissonance is just like a word.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at like 30 minutes. Did we get to 30 minutes last time?
I think so.
Okay, so we need book suggestions.
Yeah.
But do we? Because we're probably going to need to pick this book ourselves for the first one at least, because we're going to need a head start to read other books, right?
So much reading this
Well,
semester.
I already have several recommendations.
Okay.
Have you read a series called Dune? Not the science fiction with Dun, Doon.
I haven't.
Okay. It's set in Scotland, that's all I know, which means I could bring him. Well, I don't have bagpipes.
Oh my god.
If I had bagpipes, I would bring them in. I could fiddle with it on a harmonica.
Sure. Oh god.
All right, well, we need some recommendations probably. And from those recommendations, we could pick like things that we might know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we hope you enjoyed. This has been episode 2 of the Soundscape. Katy, do you have any closing remarks? I never said my name. We've said your name several times. I'm Elijah. We got to start the whole thing over again. I'm Elijah, and this is...
Katy.
And this is...